Today we're diving into one of the most beloved original Nintendo titles of all time, DuckTales. Released in 1989, this game wasn't just another licensed tie-in, it became one of Capcom's defining moments on the original Nintendo. And while many people know it for its catchy moon theme, or Scrooge McDuck's pogo stick, the full story of DuckTales goes much deeper. From its development history and sales numbers, to its surprising arcade version, Japanese release, sequels, and even its influence on later games, comics, and remakes. This game is packed with history worth exploring. And before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Rare Game Room Gaming, turn on notifications, and comment below your memories of DuckTales. Let us know what games you'd like us to cover next. And stick around until the end for more videos you'll definitely want to check out. DuckTales. The game was inspired directly by the Disney TV series of the same name, which premiered in 1987. The show was groundbreaking at the time because it was Disney's first big push into weekday syndicated television animation. Kids came home from school and instantly recognized the adventurous tone of Scrooge McDuck and his nephews traveling the world in search of treasure. Capcom, who had already proven themselves with Mega Man, saw the perfect opportunity to translate that sense of adventure into an NES game. Interestingly, the decision to base a video game on a Disney cartoon was unusual for the time. Licensed games often had poor reputations, but DuckTales became the opposite. It showed how to do a licensed game right.
We invited an expert team to our laboratory to give us their opinions of Disney's DuckTales video game from Capcom.
Yes! Awesome!
You have exciting adventures helping Scrooge McDuck escape danger and become the richest duck in the world.
Cool. Totally hot. Way radical, man! Excellent!
Join the DuckTales gang in Disney's DuckTales for Nintendo by Capcom. Also look for Mickey Mousecapade.
It's a quacker! Oh!
DuckTales was developed by Capcom, who were quickly becoming one of the most respected developers of the 8-bit era. The director of the game was Tokuro Fujiwara, a name that original Nintendo fans may recognize. Before DuckTales, he worked on Ghosts and Goblins. And later had a major hand in creating Resident Evil. The game design team also included staff who worked on Mega Man, which explains why DuckTales shares a lot of gameplay DNA with Capcom's Blue Bomber. The engine for DuckTales was actually built on modified Mega Man code, giving it that same tight jump and movement feel that players loved. The music was composed by Hiroshige Tanemura, who worked at Capcom as part of their sound team. His work on the Moon theme has become so iconic that it's often ranked among the best 8-bit tracks ever made, even covered by orchestras, remixed by fans, and referenced in later games. DuckTales was different from Mega Man and other platformers of its era because of its unique pogo stick mechanic. Scrooge McDuck could bounce on his cane to defeat enemies and reach new areas, which added a new level of depth to platforming. The game also had non-linear level selection. Much like Mega Man, you could choose which world to tackle first. The game featured 5 main stages: the Amazon, Transylvania, the African mines, the Himalayas, and of course, the Moon. What's less talked about is how DuckTales was designed with exploration in mind. Hidden treasures and secret rooms rewarded players who experimented and searched, adding replay value beyond the usual get-to-the-end-of-the-level style of gameplay. When DuckTales released in 1989, it became an instant hit. Worldwide, it sold over 1.67 million copies, making it one of Capcom's best-selling original Nintendo games of all time. For context, that number put it up there with some of the Mega Man titles. Critics at the time praised it for its graphics, which closely resembled the cartoon, and for its surprisingly deep gameplay. It was one of the games that helped to prove the original Nintendo could deliver licensed titles that weren't just cash grabs. In Japan, the game was released for the Famicom in early 1990. Interestingly, while the gameplay was the same, the box art and marketing were a little different, with a heavier emphasis on Scrooge's adventurous image. DuckTales was also ported to the Game Boy in 1990, which retained much of the gameplay, though with simplified graphics due to hardware limits. Then came the arcade version, released as part of Capcom's Play Choice 10 system. This arcade cabinet allowed players to try out original Nintendo games for a limited time, essentially serving as a showcase to drive home console sales. DuckTales was among the most popular games featured. Years later, the game was remade as DuckTales Remastered in 2013 for modern consoles. Developed by WayForward and published by Capcom, it featured hand-drawn animation, voice acting from the original cartoon cast, and orchestral versions of the soundtrack. A lesser-known fact is that DuckTales actually received a direct sequel, DuckTales 2, released on the original Nintendo in 1993. However, because it came out late in the console's life, it sold poorly compared to the first game and became a rare collector's item today. Despite its low sales, DuckTales 2 expanded on the first game's mechanics with upgrades to Scrooge's cane and more complex levels. In addition to the games, the DuckTales franchise expanded into comics, movies, and even an anime adaptation in Japan. The 1990 movie, DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, carried the spirit of the TV show and game into theaters, keeping the franchise alive into the early 90s.
But finding the fortune is only the beginning.
DuckTales is often compared to Capcom's Mega Man because of the shared development DNA, but it also paved the way for other cartoon-based games like Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, and Darkwing Duck, which were also developed by Capcom. In a way, DuckTales set the formula for how Disney's shows could be adapted into successful video games. Even more modern platformers, like Shovel Knight, have credited DuckTales' pogo mechanic as an inspiration. Today, DuckTales is remembered not just as a great licensed game, but as one of the original Nintendo classics. Its soundtrack, characters, and unique gameplay mechanics continue to influence modern games. The 2017 DuckTales reboot series even brought back references to the original Nintendo game, proving its lasting legacy. DuckTales on the original Nintendo wasn't just another licensed game, it was a masterpiece of its time that combined the heart of Disney's cartoon with Capcom's incredible game design. From its development history to its global sales, arcade releases, sequels, and influence on both games and pop culture, it's a title that stands tall among original Nintendo classics. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at DuckTales, please hit that like button, subscribe to Rare Game Room Gaming, turn on notifications, and comment below your memories of playing this game. Tell us what titles you'd like us to cover next. And before you go, click on one of the videos on screen to watch more deep dives into the history of classic original Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.